Yo, I didn't even realize. Can you guys hear me? Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. If you can't hear me clearly, let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button as I come through the door. All right. Let me see how this fan gonna sound. Woo-wee. That's kind of loud. Can you guys hear me? If you can't hear me, what's up, Karen? Karen, can you hear me? That's on YouTube's regular YouTube. For the people on StreamYard, can you hear me? I think you can hear me clear enough, but I want to confirm. Somebody in the comment section, please let me know. Thank you kindly. Cherry Stevens says she can't hear me. Big up yourself, Cherry. For you guys over there, I'm sure you can't hear me. But this one over here, so, is the one I'm checking because I'm live on StreamYard. All right. Yes, Lady Ninja says she can. All right. Hey, big up on a nice, clean cell phone, man. Hey, bless up on a cell phone. What if I respect, you know? What are them people? Only give me a second. Don't move a muscle. Don't move a muscle. No, I have been MIA. Alright? And it is what it is. I'm gonna explain why, Ray, whatever. But we're gonna get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me share my screen over here. Alright, let me share my screen. Alright. Big up Andre Stevens. Big up Partner Jar TV. Ladies and gentlemen, Andre, you see that master Andre using it. Yo, I swear. Anyway, that master is serious. Guys, like and share this video. Listen, I want you guys to listen to Andrew Holness. I want you guys to listen to Andrew Holness. Right? Listen to him carefully. Listen to the question that was asked to him years ago about the Maroons. And listen to his tone. Use your use your emotional intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Oh, what is this? What is happening right now? Why is my display looking like this? Yeah, me need help because I don't understand what just happened. I don't know what in the world just happened, bro. Okay, that looks sensible. That looks like it makes sense right now. All right, we can see the screen. All right. So, yeah, guys, listen to Andrew now. Listen to this.
Remind them! Remind
Good
them!
morning, Mr. Holness. Did the government seek legal advice on its decision to disengage with so-called sovereign Maroons? And would the government not be derelict in refusing to finance projects in any such territories? And the companion question is whether the government finds
Um, Lady Ninja, you're not hearing me now? Something changed? Me know say Karen know for join the stream. I don't know. Did something change? Are you guys hearing me now on that side? This you know you're doing. On the StreamYard, are you guys hearing me now? You see, I'm breaking up. I just saw the message. I shouldn't be breaking up. What is happening? They're saying, yes, please hit the like button over here on this phone, on the computer though, on the StreamYard. Are you guys hearing me? That's why I'm going to make sure some of the video, you know. Because I want to know if you see when me I talk, if you not hear me, that means you can't tell me say you're not hearing me. You guys hearing me? Good night, Colleen. Are you guys hearing me? Anybody hearing me? It is saying that you... Oh, we can... Okay, good. All right, let me go back to the video then. All right.
It's embarrassing that it seems that different arms of the state, that's the police, and ODPEM, as we found out, gave
foolishness and problems. For
Holness made in their compo. On to get access to Jamaica.
in refusing to finance projects in any such territories. And the companion question is whether the government finds it embarrassing that it seems that different arms of the state, that's the police, and ODPEM, as we found out, gave approval to the hosting of the Maroon celebrations.
your question is based on a very dangerous premise. And I said earlier that there are some threats that the average citizen looking on might think it is innocuous, it is popular, and take a liking to it. Because the discussions that are held in places that should know better does not highlight the threat. Jamaica is a unitary, sovereign state. There is no other sovereign authority in Jamaica other than the government of Jamaica. I want that to be absolutely clear. None. And under my leadership, not 1 inch of Jamaica will come under any other sovereign authority. What you are asking would be another for the government of Jamaica to fund, take taxpayers' money and grant funds to fund another government. This is not a government saying they are a local government, a parish council government, which is under our constitution. Are you crazy? Really? Do you know what you're asking? This is the stuff of how guerrilla wars come and states break down. Wake up, Jamaica. Don't court foolishness and problems. Wake up. People have undecided for head. I said earlier, your question is based on a very dangerous premise. And I said earlier that there are some threats that the average citizen looking on might think it is innocuous, it is popular.
Sorry about the feedback, guys. Sorry about the feedback. But this is how I have to do it. Let me stop sharing that for a minute. And let me share something. You heard what he said a while ago? He said innocuous. We're not just gonna gloss over innocuous as if everybody knows what innocuous means. Everybody doesn't. Alright? It says here that innocuous means not harmful or offensive. So what Andrew Holness is saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that saying that the Maroons are a sovereign state is harmful and it's offensive. And I challenge anybody to say that I am misleading the meaning of the sentence and the context of the sentence. He said that people would think that it is innocuous. People would think that it is not harmful or offensive. And essentially what he's saying is it is harmful and it is offensive. This is why he went to the example of this is how guerrilla warfares begin. Ryan Campbell, how you doing? Blessings to you, my brother. So I am asking the questions, ladies and gentlemen. And for those who want to join my StreamYard, if you know about StreamYard and you want to join my StreamYard, please let me know. If you know how to join the StreamYard, let me know if you want to join. And I'm going to be careful about the StreamYard because I'm only going to invite persons that I speak to on a daily. And the reason why is StreamYard can be dangerous. Persons that are not invited are you don't screen them, they can porn bomb your live stream and have your video taken down and a strike hit your channel. And 3 strikes and you're out. So I have stopped using StreamYard because of same. You understand? The only way I use StreamYard is if I know who is joining. No. So Holness is telling us that the question that the man asks is harmful and it's also offensive. That is how strong of a stance Holness took, ladies and gentlemen, when he was, oh, I didn't know you could just remove it like that. That's interesting. Wow. All right, cool. Something to think about. So I haven't used StreamYard in a while, so please forgive me, guys, for my slouchiness. I used to be way quicker than this. So that's what Holness is saying essentially, that it's a harmful and it's offensive to think that there's any other sovereign state other than that of Jamaica, within Jamaica. So that tone that he used could be interpreted as he does not respect the 1739 or 1738, something to that effect treaty. He doesn't respect the how many years the Maroons fight? Was it 80 plus years, 81 years with the British? It would suggest, ladies and gentlemen, that he does not respect the Maroons. Yes? That's what it would suggest to them. He doesn't respect them. So we're gonna go back to this particular clip and go from the start. I just wanted you guys to understand what Holness was saying when he said innocuous. All right, listen to the question again.
So, Mr. Holness, did the government seek legal advice on its decision to disengage with so-called sovereign Maroons? And would the government not be derelict in refusing to finance projects in any such territories? And the companion question is whether the government finds it embarrassing that it seems that different arms of the state, that's the police and ODPEM, as we found out, gave approval to the hosting of the Maroon celebrations.
Your question is based on a very dangerous premise. And I said earlier that there are some threats that the average citizen looking on might think it is innocuous, it is popular, and take a liking to it, because the discussions that are held in places that should know better does not highlight the threat. Jamaica is a unitary, sovereign state. There is no other sovereign authority in Jamaica other than the government of Jamaica. I want that to be absolutely clear. None. And under my leadership, not 1 inch of Jamaica will come under any other sovereign authority. What you are asking would be another for the government of Jamaica to fund, take taxpayers' money and grant funds to fund another government. This is not a government saying they are a local government, a parish council government, which is under our constitution. Are you crazy? Really? Do you know what you're asking? This is the stuff of how guerrilla wars come and states break down. Wake up, Jamaica. Don't court foolishness and problems. Wake up. People have...
So this is how guerrilla warfare start. I think it would be safe to gather, based off the tone of Andrew Holness's argument, that he did not take liking. He took it to a guerrilla warfare type of vibe. The Maroons, the most peaceful people in this country. The Maroons have a community that is envied in terms of peace. Like, talk about literally being able to leave your doors open in their community and go to your bed. A community that literally has night watchmen because of their traditions. And Andrew Holness looked at just the question itself, that threatening to put it at guerrilla warfare. And the falling of a state. So when we go to the next clip, ladies and gentlemen, and we keep what we just heard in mind, you might be as confused as I am as to what changed. I think you're going to be raising some questions in your brain. Like, huh? How did we go from guerrilla warfare to what I'm about to play right now? How did that happen? You understand? Let me play. Let me play it. Yo, I couldn't believe this. This can't be the same Andrew Holness. There's just no way. You understand? Alright, here we go.
There are several themes that have been echoed. There are several themes that have been echoed from this stage. One of them is sovereignty. Sovereignty is the right of a people to decide, to own and decide on their land and their resources, to make their laws and to enforce them. All of you here are part of the Jamaican sovereignty. You are part of Jamaica, and you are entitled to the protection, resources of the state of Jamaica. So I stand here as your Prime Minister. I am obligated to you. I report to you. You are the ones who elect and decide on my office, and my job is to report to you as a servant and steward of your resources. So I want you to know that in me, you always have someone who is looking out for you. In me, you always have someone who is in your service and working for you. I want to invite your chief to stand beside me for a moment. My job is not to be an overlord of anybody or anything. My job is to make sure that your affairs are administered properly. And my job is to make sure that the different levels of government in Jamaica work. You have something called the central government. You have the local government. But you also have other forms like community leadership. And the Maroons have, for centuries, shown this kind of community leadership. It is cultural leadership. I want to go back to what I said before. You are all part of the Jamaican sovereignty. You have different levels of government. The community leadership is something that we value. It is important in building the nation. It is important that we recognize the value of the cultural assets that we have. And the Maroons have shown this. You add a sense of diversity. You give us, as a people, depth. When people hear about Jamaica and they hear about the Maroons, they see a side of us that is not just about enslavement. It is also about resistance. It is that we stood up to oppression and we were successful, that Jamaicans forced the English to sign a treaty. Yes, very few other countries in the world can show that. And therefore, the government of Jamaica supports the Maroon communities. We see you as an invaluable asset.
Come here, I need your help. I need your help. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why I played that in full. Because I'm gonna go back. We just need to take up something. Right, it's a few. I'm gonna go back over it because there's so much to unpack. You know, Andrew Holness is a special individual. He's talented. I have to tell you, the man talents are the stand right there for me. The man talents are second to none, ladies and gentlemen. When I tell you Andrew Holness talents, his and I don't his talents of persuasion. If you're not careful, no. Yeah, thank you. If you're not careful, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Holness would have you believe that up is down and down is up. Did you guys just hear the previous audio that I played referring to guerrilla warfare? To even recognize the Maroon as anything sovereign outside of Jamaican sovereignty was an issue likened to guerrilla warfare as a reference, not by me. And ladies and gentlemen, let me phrase my argument by saying Andrew Holness's own words led me to believe that is the position he took previously. So if previously, when he said what he said, he meant something else outside of what he said and what I read from what he said, then I invite him to clear it up. Explain to us what he meant when he said, this is the thing that lead to guerrilla warfare. At what point did the Akongpong posture had him believe that they wanted to somehow take over or go against the sovereignty of Jamaica? They clearly was talking, in my opinion, in my purview, there clearly was demonstrating that their sovereignty is equal to the sovereignty of the Jamaicans. That is the reason why England signed the treaty with them. We recognize your authority as you recognize ours. And we live in peace. So how then did he go to guerrilla warfare? How? How did we get here? How did we? Thank you very much, Egla. How did Jamaica get any sovereignty at all? Ladies and gentlemen, I would argue that the Maroon sovereignty has greater value than us Jamaicans. There is a separation. We still follow the fractal of our colonizer. Our lands are not our own. That's why I say land holder and not owner. And I want to, I have to play back the video. You know what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Since I have played the video already, and you guys hear the video, for the purposes of me dissecting what Andrew is saying, I am going to unplug the box, the Bluetooth box, and I'm going to turn on this computer and play what he's saying so I can react in real time. I'm just going to leave that up on the screen, all right? I'm going to leave that up on the screen. Okay. So I am certain that the people on YouTube, they still can hear me. Although I won't be able to hear anything on this computer, which is fine because I'm going to play from the other computer. You understand? All right, perfectly. Bluetooth is not on. Let me see. Because this man is something else, yeah, man. This man named Andrew Holness is something else, ladies and gentlemen. He's a skillful individual, I have to say. He's a real chess player, no doubt about it. He's very crafty with his words. Very crafty. In my opinion, he pretty much minimized the sovereignty. He tried to characterize the sovereignty of the Maroons in a community-based authority. So the Maroons is merely a community within the sovereign state of Jamaica. That's how he characterized it. I would, based off the treaty, I would say it's way more than that, guys. Way more than that. I think that is doing a disservice. I think it's disrespectful. And any Maroon that heard Andrew Holness should feel disrespected by his utterances. And it's not to cause division. It's because of the context of which he said it. It was disrespectful, in my opinion. If I was a Maroon that fought, that my ancestors fought all those years, blood spilled, and Andrew Holness come to liken our sovereignty to that of a community level of sovereignty, where it's a community within a sovereign state. Yeah, I take offense to that. I would take offense to that. Me personally. And I have to be honest with you. I'm not trying to sow discord. The Maroons there, they can think whatever they want to think. You get me? But I am saying for me personally, if I was a Maroon, I would take great offense to what he said. You understand? All right. With that said, big up the people I'm on TikTok. I have to go live on TikTok for this because, my God, we are at a serious crossroad in our country, and I think people need to really start paying attention to what is happening before you lose everything. And I mean everything. You understand? Potentially, you could lose everything. All right, let me go here and go back to Andre video on this computer. Oh, by the way, let me connect the box first. The Bluetooth. So all devices can hear. Non-member, big up. Thanks for the likes. Help me to get to my goal, TikTok. Help me to get to my goal. Cowboy hat vibes right now. That's the thing there. Let me pin it. Cowboy hat. Send on the cowboy hats, them ladies and gentlemen. That is the goal for the live stream, yeah? I'm only saying it because TikTok encourages you to tell you and encourage you to support the platform. So that's the only reason why I'm doing it. Trust me. Me have one look face this streak. So I'm gonna really like Faye, you know. Ask them where they are, put those things out there. Anyway, here we go. Oh my God, I need to turn that down. That's a bit loud. My goodness. I'm testing the volume, guys. 1 second. All right, cool. So I think that is good. Everybody can hear that. Let us dissect what Andrew is saying now. Let us dissect what Andrew is saying.
To Jamaica. The speech Andrew Holness made in their compound.
There are several themes that have been echoed from this stage. One of them is sovereignty. Sovereignty is the right of a people to decide, to own and decide on their land and their resources.
I hope that Chief Curry comes out, listens to this speech, and do a rebuttal. I'm calling on Chief Curry. Chief, I want you to listen to Andrew Holness' speech. And I need you to come out and do a rebuttal. All right, Chief. I am beckoning you. I'm imploring you, sir. Because a lot of things was, what's the word I'm looking for? Was suggested in this, even in the first sentence a while ago. All right? So, we go to the dictionary again. What is sovereignty? What is sovereignty? It says here, change this, remove that and put the other one there. Stop sharing, share the other screen. Yes, perfect. Huh? I was like, what? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. All right, so it says here that sovereignty means a state of supreme, independent authority to govern itself within its own territory, free from external control, encompassing the power to make and enforce laws, manage internal affairs, and conduct internal relations. Ladies and gentlemen, doesn't that sound like something that the Maroons have already? Remember that the Maroons have their own stamp, you know. How you doing, Pebbles? Simple Pebbles. Remember that the Maroons have their own stamp. So, when there is a collaboration with the government for them to get log or timber from the Maroons, they have to pay the Maroons for it, you know. Because it's on the property of the Maroons. I don't know if you follow me. The Maroons have their own stamp, recognized globally, internationally. What's up, Marjorie? They have their own stamp. Right? If the lands was the government's, why would the government pay the Maroons for the timber? Why would the government pay the Maroons for the timber? You pay somebody for something that they own. Yes? Somebody answer me in the comment section now. Don't you pay somebody for something that they own? Yes or no? Let me see who there really are listening. Anybody? This is my phone. You pay me for this if I'm selling it. See there? The only way I can sell this to you legally is if I own it. If I own the timber, it means it's on my property. This is what the treaty is all about, ladies and gentlemen. The areas of the Akompong and other areas is the property of the Maroons. They own that property through blood, sweat, and tears. They look at dibby Jamaican them outside of the Maroon them, that group. Never did fight 81 years. They never had the balls to stand up. Or this, well, I'm not going to say they never had the balls. They did not exhibit. They did not display the cahoots or the balls to stand up, Colleen and Cherry, to the colonizer. That's why I couldn't understand the disrespect of the government. You remember when they sent all those police and soldiers up there as a show of force? What did the chief do? He went to the law and the treaty and the paperwork. He made several trips overseas to authorities that is way bigger than Holness. Because he understands the power is in the pen. Ladies and gentlemen, there is power in the pen. There's power in the ink. Depending on who sign off on what, there's power in the ink. The English could not have operated while the Maroons was fighting them and gained much from Jamaica, because the Maroons were relentless. They were crafty, skillful, lethal, brave, resourceful. Andrew Holness would not be basking in the freedom that he has, or even in the authority that he has, if it wasn't for the actions of the Maroons. The Maroons set the precedence for freedom in this colony here, ladies and gentlemen. They are the pioneers. They are the pioneers of it. You hear how long their history is? 288 years. We should show high levels of respect for the natives. It's not a normal level of respect is required for the Maroons. They did the unthinkable consistently. With all of the guns and ammunition and everything that the enemy had. Think about it. Think about it. So, you hear Andrew on that one. Let's continue.
To make their laws and to enforce them. All of you here are part of the Jamaican sovereignty.
You see what he did there? You see what he did there, ladies and gentlemen?
You are part of Jamaica, and you are entitled to the protection, resources.
So now the Maroons are entitled to protection and resources. Andrew, it's a peace treaty. It was a peace treaty. If you break it, there's serious ramifications. It's a peace treaty. Let me Google something. What would happen if a peace treaty is broken? Let's examine that. If a peace treaty is broken, it can lead to the suspension or termination of the treaty, allowing the wrong party to take countermeasures, potentially restarting hostilities and inviting international mediation or sanction against the violator, with consequences ranging from political fallout to new conflicts, as rights gained under the treaty are nullified. The severity depends on the breach's nature, the treaty terms and international response, often involving UN involvement or third-party mediator to de-escalate or enforce compliance. I'm going to read that again. If a peace treaty is broken, and we have established that this is a peace treaty between the Maroons and the English. Yes? If a peace treaty is broken, it can lead to the suspension or termination of the treaty, allowing the wronged party to take countermeasures, potentially restarting hostilities and inviting international mediation or sanction against the violator, So Andrew Holness government, if they should violate the treaty that the Maroons have with the British, the English, right? He could face international mediation or sanction. Can somebody say impeachment? And not Jamaica impeachment, global impeachment. When them come for you, you started an unnecessary conflict with the Maroons. And if I am wrong, somebody correct me. I'm reading it from the screen. I'm reading it from the screen, ladies and gentlemen. So the party that is wronged, which would be the Maroons, right, would have to take countermeasures to defend themselves. And they would be right to do so because they are not the one that broke the treaty. Again, the treaty is a peace treaty, ladies and gentlemen. It says with consequences ranging from political conflict, political fallout to new conflicts, as rights that was gained under the treaty would be nullified. The government of Jamaica and the state of Jamaica benefits from the treaty as well, you know. Because again, if they did not have that treaty, England could not do business in Jamaica. It would have gone on and on and on, and they would be losing soldiers and resources and everything. It would have been a never-ending cycle, ladies and gentlemen, until somebody was outed. And after 80 plus years, yo, this is, hey, listen, man, respect to you. That's exactly what happened. Respect to you. Easy me, respect to each other. Let's do this. Let's move on. This not work. This is bad for business. That's essentially what happened. Andrew wanted to take over what the Maroons fought and gave their life for. He's now trying to backtrack. Interesting perspective there, Cherry. Reading from the chat, not my words, ladies and gentlemen. So let's continue.
The state of Jamaica. So I stand here as your Prime Minister. I am obligated to you. I report to you. You are the ones who elect and decide on my office. And my job is to report to you as a servant and steward of your results. So I want you to know that...
Whoa. What?
My office. And my job is to report to you as a servant and steward of your results. So
Did he say a servant and a steward of your resources? I want to play that again. I don't want to tell a lie on the Prime Minister.
You as a servant and steward of your results. So I want...
Somebody listen to that and let me know what the Prime Minister said right there. Did he say a servant and steward of your resources? Is Andrew Holness suggesting that he controls the Maroon resources? I'm asking a question. I'm not declaring that that's what he said. Because I know say the internet police them a listen. Huh? Is that what he said?
You to know my office and my job delegated to you. I report to you. You are the ones who elect and decide on my office. And my job is to report to you as a servant and steward of your resources. So I want
A servant and steward of your resource. That's what I heard. Very interesting choice of words. Servant and steward of your resource. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna get a second and third opinion for hears it. I'm gonna send the clip to somebody and tell me and say, what did Andrew say right here? So what is the word he used? Because it's not quite clear. But let's continue.
I want you to know that in me, you always have someone who is looking out for you. In me, you always have someone who is in your service and working for you.
It is interesting that he said that at this time. Where has Andrew been for the last few years? Since Chief Curry has been the chief. Where has he been? And I'm inviting everybody on TikTok to go to my bio and subscribe to my YouTube page that I'm actually live on right now. The link is right there. And those that are watching on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to the platform already, what you waiting on? Come on, man. Stop playing.
To invite your chief to stand beside me for a moment. My job is not to be an overlord.
This is why I say Andrew Holness is skillful. Because you see the statement that he made about, that I played before about the Maroon sovereignty. The statement that he made gave him the appearance of an overlord and a dictator. And he's well aware, ladies and gentlemen, of the perception that people have of him. So could this be an attempt to shape that perception in another way?
Body or anything. My job is to make sure your chief to stand beside me for a moment. My job is not to be an overlord of anybody or anything. My job is to make sure that your affairs are administered properly. And my job is to make sure that the different levels of government in Jamaica work.
So now, this is an interesting point of his speech. You know, I want you to listen to the foundation of this argument. Different levels of government. Listen to this argument.
Properly. And my job is to make sure that the different levels of government in Jamaica work. You have something called the central government. You have the local government. But you also have other forms like community leadership and
community leadership. So you have central government, you have local government, which is a lower tier, and you have community leadership. Listen to what the man is saying, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, I was listening to Mr. Will Rattigan recently on one of his platforms. And it's interesting that Andrew should come up with this argument of sovereignty. Very interesting. And different tiers of government. It's very interesting that he should come up with this argument. Because Mr. Will Rattigan, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Rattigan was explaining the different tiers of government in this live stream. You understand? And very educational. So, if you look at the Jamaica Information Service, you have the monarch, which is England. Thank you so much for the heart. Blessed child, how you doing? So good to see you. Right? You have the monarch, then you have the governor general. So that's first and second. Right? Then you have the service commission, and you have the privy council right side each other. I'm good, sweetie. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart, for the love. Then you have the legislator, the executive, and you have the judiciary. Then you have the Senate. Then you have the House of Representatives, the Cabinet, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. I want to know, ladies and gentlemen, where is the part of the government that Andrew is talking on this? And let me show the people over here. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright. I want to know at what level is this community thing he's talking about. Alright. That's all I want to know. How far down the tier does it fall? You guys can see that on your screen now on StreamYard, right? Oh, let me just flip it for these people right here. So flip people up on TikTok. Alright. See it there. Okay. Wait a minute. It's a bit too big. It's a bit too big. Go back to this. So you can see the monarch is at the top, Governor General, Service Commission, Privy Council, Legislative, Executive. Andrew Holness is the head of the executive. You understand? His wife is the head of the legislative. And you have the judiciary. Yes? The cabinet falls under all of that. House of Representatives, Senate. Who's the head of the House of Representatives? The Speaker of the House. So, legislative, right? Okay. Separation of powers, where is it in Jamaica? But that's a whole other conversation. What I'm saying is this. The statement that Andrew made here, where is it? Where is this community government?
Central government. You have the local government, but you also have other forms like community leadership and
So Andrew Holness just disrespected the Maroon chief and likened him to being a community leader. You heard what I said? This is very disrespectful. He's undermining the authority of the chief. Very disrespectful.
Maroons have for centuries shown this kind of community leadership. It is cultural leadership. I want to go back to what I said before.
I wonder why he had to go back to what he said before. Could it be that he was facing some type of, I don't know, opposition in voices in the crowd? Could it be that people had taken some offense to what he was saying? I'm just asking. I wasn't there, so I'm probing these questions. Could it be, ladies and gentlemen? Could it be? So he had to say again. Let's hear what he said again. Criticism, maybe. You're right, blessed child. That might be it.
Part of the Jamaican sovereignty. You have different levels of government.
I believe he was facing criticism. Andrew Holness does that anytime he's facing criticism and he's trying to play nice. When you say cultural icon, he saw somebody facial expression. I think it's more than facial expression because I could hear some dissenting voices in the crowd a while ago.
Leadership is something that we value. It is important in building the nation. The sovereignty. You have different levels of government. The community leadership is something that we value. It is important in building the nation.
So, when did he find this value? When did he realize this importance? Was it when he was talking about guerrilla warfare, potential guerrilla warfare? At what point did Andrew Holness value this form of government? When did this happen? I'm really interested to know. Because when it suit him, blessed science, when it suit him, mighty God, you might be right. If this man is not a hypocrite at all, he embodies hypocrisy. How do you go from no other state sovereign but Jamaican? It was almost as if he was letting him know that me are the done and you answer to me and you don't have no authority. Now he recognizes the community leadership. Now he recognizes the community leadership. Me say, any maroon after what Andrew Holness government did and with those police, I think in a Flagstaff last year or the year before. The fact that you're a maroon and you don't stand up to a government leader that has a posture of dictatorial tendencies, I question your lineage. Which maroon went to the polls on September 3rd and voted for Andrew Holness? You should go down in sackcloth and repent. You heard what I said? You should go down in sackcloth and repent. You know what I want to do? I want to find out what elements are used to make a smart city. What is the element used? What is the mineral that is most used in designing a smart city? I think we all need to research that. That just popped up in my spirit. And everything I'm saying now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not reading from any script. This is all freestyle. All of my lives are freestyle. Want to see my head big? Yeah, man. I got a lot of thoughts. Sometimes, I want to be more crisp in my articulation, but I'm my biggest critic. Cultural icons maybe not, because most of the maroon lands are No, it's not you. It's the, listen, I don't even want to say, let's continue.
It is important that we recognize the value of the cultural assets that we have.
The value.
And the Maroons have shown this. You add a sense of diversity. You give us, as a people, depth. When people hear about Jamaica and they hear about the Maroons, they see a side of us that is not just about enslavement, it is also about resistance.
You know, these words, I believe is gonna come back and haunt him. You know? These words, I think is gonna come back and haunt him. The Maroons represent resistance. While he's buttering them up in, he's really buttering them up. He's laying it on real thick. When the people came out in protest of Dennis Chung, what did Andrew Holness do? Go on a platform and tell his supporters to go and protest the protesters. The protesters that were resisting him and his regime. What does he do when he has these resistances? What does Andrew Holness do? Based off his actions, when the resistance rises up against Andrew, does he show a posture of humility, and does he show a posture of a servant, or does he show a posture of me not afraid of nobody and I mean for me? Yo, listen, I really hope that you guys are really soaking this in, you know, for what it is. A word to the wise is sufficient. Big up, Mr. Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth. Yeah, man.
It is that we stood up to oppression.
We who? Andrew, you never stood up to no oppression, Andrew. You're not there that the Maroon, the man of you, you're not part of the Maroon.
And we were successful that Jamaicans forced the English to sign a treaty.
It was not Jamaicans, Andrew. It was the Maroons. It's not Jamaicans. It's the Maroons. Do you guys see what he's doing? His language is trying to merge. There's no separation as distinction of Maroons and Jamaicans. That's what he's trying to do. If it's even off bravery, there has to be a separation between the Maroons and Jamaicans. Jamaicans never stood up against the British or the English. The Maroons did. You understand?
Yes, very few other countries in the world can show that. And therefore, the government of Jamaica supports the Maroon communities. We see you as an invaluable asset.
Asset, value, invaluable. You know, there was a lady that called him today on Andre's program. And make sure you guys go to PDTV News Jamaica and subscribe. Alright? I fully encourage it and endorse it, ladies and gentlemen. There was the oh Lord. Whoa, there is a liar. I fully endorse it and encourage it.
So you can send the money to the government.
Listen that.
What do you I'm doing it. Next year, my baby, my all right. Me, I'm gonna be on my.
I want you guys to listen to this caller. Listen to this caller that called in on Andre's program last night. Well, today, Midday Connection. It was a bit late. I was there looking for it at 1 o'clock and I didn't see it. And sometime after when I said, man, this man not come on live. You understand? And then I just give up. But then I go to Bob's and me I scroll through and me I do me little thing and me I watch same time and me I say, what? Me refresh the page and me see Andre live. So me go upon it. When me go upon it, Andre, when I course about something. So in my search to find out what is actually happening, which I won't get into that part of it. When you can go watch that. When I course about, I'm not going to that. See? Like whoever supposed to get that message obviously got the message. What are you doing up? You're not going to bed. Don't answer that. Anyway, listen to this call, ladies and gentlemen.
Perspective from and we are carrying on.
Upon the compound?
Yeah. So what the Johannesburg, I G20 summit meeting.
Out of South Africa.
Listen me where you answer. So people them in the meeting, them that talk about the compound, them around them. Ethiopia, Ghana,
yes,
and one next country must be Romania, and one of them countries they plan to help. They maroon them.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear that. One of the countries at the G20 summit plans on helping the Maroons. And Andrew has caught wind of this when he went to the G20 summit. Yes, remember when all of us was wondering where Andrew is gone? How comes him gone to Africa when Hurricane Melissa just hit? You remember that? And people were out here suffering. And just to touch on that a bit. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the mustache and the hat. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the goal. I need 100 of those. Do what I can. That is the goal of the thing. Thank you so much, Uni. So anyway, I'm gonna go get back to the G20 summit and the fact that countries out there want to help the Maroons. My point that I want to make, ladies and gentlemen, is, hey Barry, what happened? You're good? The point I want to make is this. I was listening to Mr. Fitz Jackson and Colin Bell show. You guys need to go watch that interview. I'm telling you. Portland Spice TV on YouTube. You need to go and watch that interview with Mr. Fitz Jackson. He said 1 week after the storm, he went to St. Elizabeth, ladies and gentlemen, and Westmoreland, down that side where the affected areas are. And he said something that I did not think about. He said it was so devastating, the heat that he experienced in the area. Because remember, all the trees gone, The sea breeze on the west coast, especially persons that are close to the west and anywhere near the seashore, remember the trees are gone, when it's the hurricane hit, So the heat turned up. So people would have been dehydrated faster because of that in that area. And when I heard him say that, I thought about it. I said, that is more of the reason why the government should have moved quicker in establishing certain things in relief for the people in those areas. After a week, when Mr. Jackson went down there exploring all the areas, there was no established area where people had, they had tents in those communities where people were, so people can cool themselves from the sun and all of that. I remember a story in the newspaper that I read on my platform. I will never forget it. of a man that died on his bicycle. He was riding towards aid that was coming in, not from the government, but from regular citizens of Jamaica and other outside entities that was flooding the area to go and help with aid. Remember when Jonas went in the helicopter, and Jonas didn't fly a helicopter with any aid in there. He went down there with his two long hands to go look and assess. While the people were in those conditions. All right, later. While the people were in those conditions, the man died. I think he rode 3 or 6 miles, ladies and gentlemen, to go and try and get water and food, and the man died on his bicycle. Somebody that was driving a car going back from where the aid was to their home saw the man on the bicycle and he never looked right. And then they're looking at him rear view and the man collapsed and they go towards him, and in 5 minutes that man was dead. And ladies and gentlemen, the man was still a good distance away from the aid that did not come from the government. And people come on these platforms and talk about 1 p.m. and all this nonsense and the best prime minister in the world. And I have to call out the wickedness and the evil and the hypocrisy of those people. You are a wicked individual. You have no heart.
No, the history.
You have no heart. The experiences that persons had in that time after Hurricane Melissa, post-Hurricane Melissa, in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, St. James, Hanover, Trelawney, you name it. I wish all those persons that defend the government experience same or more. Same or worse. Yeah, man. I wish that you guys experience same or worse. Good question, Michelle. How do you hold the Prime Minister accountable? Well, you see what Mr. Paul Buchanan is doing by appealing his case? That's how you hold Prime Minister accountable. Yeah, man. For those on TikTok, you guys are privy to some of the audios that I haven't even posted on my YouTube as yet. Watch those audios. I picked them out specifically because of the conversation that is being had in those audios. Most of my videos that I put up has substance on YouTube. It's a pity YouTube don't pay me for my post them, and I really don't get any money from going live. It's because I want to have the conversation and raise the awareness while I'm even here. I don't get strong support on TikTok. I don't. And they're always sending, they're always trying to block my videos, restrict them, all of that. The lab rats, them, trust me, them dangerous. Right? Them fight for them 1 p.m. more than how them fight for God. And more than how them fight for Jesus, that gave his life so them could have eternal life. Thank you so much, Mike. Michelle. Michelle said, don't get emotional and personal, get involved and participate in aiding. Everybody plays a role during a mission. I don't think that's the way to hold the Prime Minister accountable. I don't. Because you doing what the Prime Minister is supposed to do is letting him off the hook. When you're doing it, while it's being highlighted, it will expose that he's not doing what he's supposed to do. And this is one of the reasons why he was saying the people, they must stop take picture, him alone must take picture, because it was being said globally. People was looking at the government, wondering, and they're still wondering, all of this aid that we have given you, where are all the tents? Where is everything that you've got? Also, Michelle, you're one of them that make excuses for the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is one person The Prime Minister is one person that has major one responsibility and extreme power. No, that statement suggests that you are making an excuse for the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has one, with great power comes great responsibility. He has the power to delegate and make sure things move smoothly and quickly. If Andrew Holness wants all the beaches in Jamaica to be free, it's done. If the government wants the banks to treat the citizens better, it's done. You understand? I'm not talking for myself. I don't look to the government for help. You see, I know, you know. I can tell when people are formulating their arguments in a way. You know, anytime I hear people say the Prime Minister is one, I already know that you're a labrat. I already know from what you said that the Prime Minister is one person. You're making an excuse for him. I can smell people like you from a mile away. From a mile away. Quite unfortunate. Let's continue. Listen to this argument, ladies and gentlemen. London 45 in that place. Big up yourself, mama. Love what you do, you know. You understand? And sometimes share your video them on YouTube. I see me watch a live. It was yesterday or today. Today, when he was talking about the fact that the people in just attack. I am also frustrated because I'm wondering what it is going to take for people to unite. I'm talking about the lab rats, them opening up their mind and understanding that whatever happens to one of us happens to all of us. Forget about the green and orange. Look at what the man is doing to the people. We are the people. So we have to stand up for what is right for us. And until they get that, the Andrew Holness will be able to, his government is going to be able to continue pressuring the people, suffering the people. Hey, let me tell you something though, London. Prayer. Hear what I said? Pray for them. Because a God alone can shift. A God alone can make this shift. Because these people seem to be witched, you know. The prophet said, you know. He said there is altars set all over Jamaica that have the people under witchery. Serious level of witchcraft. You understand? So they cannot see the logic. The only thing, it's in God's hands. I think all we can do is like what you say you're going to put out a video of them, and I'm going to do the same. I'm looking to do less live streams. I'm just going to show Desmond Mackenzie saying what he said here, and show him saying what he said there, and have little commentary. I'm left right there, so. Because it's like, listen to what the man said, and listen to what the man said now. Isn't that opposite from what the man said then? So him never say him say it. Or him say him never say it. That's all we can do. Can't do nothing else. Listen to this caller though, that called in on Andre's show.
Ghana,
Yes.
and one next country was in Romania. One of them countries, they plan to help, they maroon them.
Yes. You know the history.
Yeah. So, what you believe of me now? Andrew Holness no want no money because to cheat Curry.
Oh.
No.
What is a Shakshia? What is
In the one, if the people never get help from them country, if you marry them, go get help.
Yes.
If don't want cheap Curry to get the money in their hand.
No, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think? What the caller said on Andre is that there are some countries in the G20 summit that is offering to help the Maroons. And what the lady is saying is that Andrew Holness caught wind of this, and he doesn't want Chief Curry to get the money directly. So he's creating this facade that he did when he went to the Acompo, and he made this grand speech to say, oh, you know, we are sovereign. You are part of the sovereignty of Jamaica, and you are part of the government at a community-based level, and you have a community leadership, and I am your servant and all of that to create. Do you think that? All right, let me just. That's what she's saying, and I'm going to ask you this question to back up her theory. Do you think that Andrew Holness would have made the speech he made that I'm going to play after this in 2020 and thereabout in the pandemic? Do you think he would have made this speech if he knew that the Maroons was going to get help from another country? Alright, how you doing? Big up yourself. Let me play the speech for you, the part of the speech. Listen to the question that was asked of Andrew Holness and listen to the response. Listen to the response. Oh, here it is. Ah, it's in there. Listen to this.
Good morning, Mr.
Listen to this.
Mr. Holness. Did the government seek legal advice on its decision to disengage with so-called sovereign Maroons? And would the government not be derelict in refusing to finance projects in any such territories? And the companion question is whether the government finds it embarrassing that it seems that different arms of the state, that's the police and ODPEM, as we found out, gave approval to the hosting of the Maroon celebrations.
Your question is based on a very dangerous premise.
Listen to his tone. You see how he started it? Your question is based on a very dangerous premise. Listen to his tone. Do you think that Andrew Holness would take the tone he's taking now? Would he have made the same speech today if he knew that a country or countries is looking to help the Maroons? Listen to this.
Your question is based on a very dangerous premise. And I said earlier that there are some threats that the average citizen looking on might think it is innocuous, it is popular.
And innocuous means not harmful or offensive. So he's saying that some people would think that the question is not harmful and is not offensive. So he means that it's actually harmful and offensive. Listen.
And take a liking to it, because the discussions that are held in places that should know better does not highlight the threat. Jamaica is
the threat. The threat. You hear the tone? The threat
does not highlight the threat. Jamaica is a unitary, sovereign state. There is no other sovereign authority in Jamaica other than the government of Jamaica. I want that to be absolutely clear. None. And under my leadership, not 1 inch of Jamaica will come under any other sovereign authority. What you are asking would be another for the government of Jamaica to fund, take taxpayers' money and grant funds to fund another government. This is not a government saying they are a local government, a parish council government, which is under our constitution. Are you crazy? Really? Do you know what you're asking? This is the stuff of how guerrilla wars come and states break down. Wake up, Jamaica. Don't court foolishness and problems. Wake up. People.
So you guys think that Andrew Holness would have made this same speech today, you think he would have had this same tone today? This was, I think, 2021 or 2020. That is crazy, right, London? That's crazy. Yo, listen to the man. The man said, are you crazy? This is what caused guerrilla warfare. There's only one sovereign state. Now he goes into the Akongpong recently, and he's the servant of the people. He's the servant, ladies and gentlemen. Now he respects them. Now they're an cultural asset, and they're invaluable. Yo, danger, yo. This man, bro. Listen to a lady I said no. So you see, listen to the lady I said no, because that really straightened the lady argument which she met about Andrew, you know. Right, I said.
They maroon them.
Yes, you know the history.
So what you believe of me now? Andrew Holness no want no money because to cheat Curry.
Oh,
no.
What is the Shakespeare? What is
it? You know want if the people ever get help from them country, if you maroon them are gonna get help.
Yes.
They don't want cheap Curry to get the money in their hand.
What a smart student! Say it again, Shakespeare answer.
If to them country they plan to help him maroon them, him don't want cheap. When I say help, you know, say upon them I go for money and maybe everything donate and things.
Development of the Maroons, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you mean by funding. Listen, every smart nation wants to have good relationship with the Maroons. And there is a reason why. Because they have assets that are invaluable. Andrew Holness tried to use brute force. He sent, I don't know, 100 or over 80 soldiers to Flagstaff. Was it Flagstaff? Let me go and look for that clip. Let me go and look for that clip. Let me go and Google that. Let me find out that clip. I need to find it. 100 plus police, JCF and JDF went to Flagstaff. Let me see if I can find that. See if I can find that clip. See if I can find that clip. Videos. Police and soldiers. Can somebody send me that clip? Invade the Maroons. All right. August 12, 2021. Maroon and cops in standoff. Here it is. I'm find it. Find it, ladies and gentlemen. I found it. Oh, it was 2021? It was 2021? Are you serious? Wow, it was 2021.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Maroons and police at loggerheads over protected lands and ganja cultivation. More calls for Jamaicans to get vaccinated. Later in sports, Reggae Boys fall in FIFA World Rankings. I'm Ajay Masters. Here are the details. 8/10 of the Jamaican state and the Maroon community in St. Elizabeth appear to be on a collision course. The contention relates to protected lands and the cultivation of ganja. Dwayne Anderson explains.
Armed police officers at the Maroon summer compound in St. Elizabeth locked in a standoff on Wednesday. The Maroons were upset over what their Colonel Richard Curry said is the practice by Maroon police officers to extort Maroon farmers for money and crops. In this video, Maroons beating drums advanced towards armed officers. In the end, no one was hurt in the confrontation.
Please exit.
Please exit.
Head of the JCS Corporate Communications Unit Senior Superintendent Stephen Lindsay says the operation was part of the Narcotics Division's clampdown on illegal cultivation of ganja. SSP Lindsay added that checks with the Cannabis Licensing Authority revealed that no licenses were granted for the cultivation of ganja in the area.
They destroyed approximately 3.5 acres. Then they were confronted by this group of persons who insisted that they were trespassing on their property, and things got a little intense. I would say they're confrontational. So the police, having done the risk assessment, made the judgment to abort the operation so as to de-escalate what was happening.
But Wednesday's standoff is not the only contentious issue involving the Maroons. Fingers are also being pointed at them over these signs that were recently pulled down. These signs were erected in a protected area in Quickstep in St. Elizabeth. A communique obtained from a Forest Department source said the situation in Quickstep, St. Elizabeth is growing.
In where? St. Elizabeth. In St. Elizabeth. They always have interest in St. Elizabeth. Where did the storm come? St. Elizabeth. Listen.
As Maroons say, they're reclaiming all the lands they say they own, including forestry reserves. When we contacted Environment Minister Colonel Charles Jr., he explained that the Forestry Department has had issues in the past in its reserves, but he was not aware of the most recent developments and made checks on the situation. Attempts to get a response from the Maroon chief in a compound proved futile. But this is a recent street meeting held by the Maroon Colonel Richard Curry in the community. He expressed his dissatisfaction about certain protection policies.
I don't know how we earn fuel living here, so you are coming in a fuel land. If you come tell me, say, you can't cut, yes, sir.
Yeah.
No. To be no problem in doing what we've always done, what our ancestors have done, and what we find them now doing too, but under the efforts or the disguise of protectionism. So you can cut down and then you plant back. So what about what we did plant and what about our fluid ancestors and the left away?
Hospitalizations from the respiratory illness has reached.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the first situation that had a relationship between Andrew Holness. He knows in time near man, in time near London. That's the first situation that had Andrew Holness and the state and the government in conflict that I know of significance with the Maroons. That was the first instance. See, it came on the news. So that's why we were aware of it. And then I think they came to arrest Chief Curry. And he did an Instagram video. Let me see if we can find that video on Google. We're going for the evidence, guys. However tedious it might be, we have to do that because these guys are very slick. They like to say that people are spreading misinformation. I just want you guys to bear with us. So Richard Curry listed as a person of interest. Following what? Following alleged barricading of several forest workers. Bingo. This is the story. But I want to get the video footage. This was 2024, so this was 2 years ago. This is it. So the one I played a while ago was 2021, guys. This is 2024. So let me just branch in that title into YouTube and I should, oh, there it is.
It's the forestry department blue with mahogany. Solid mahogany. You know what this tree must have been? This is a solid mahogany tree. Right? The forestry department is moving up. So when our people have a problem and we raise the problem, it is as if we're the obstruction.
That's a truck carrying a stone. Those are the people that block the road. Right? So that doesn't want to be against it. Go for some more. Curry cleared. Police withdraw interest in forest incident. Hey, yo, I'm telling you, this was a whole thing. See that? I think I ate this. I'm going to put this in my file of evidence. Yeah, evidence to record. Boom. Listen to this.
The Accompong Maroons are standing behind their chief, Richard Curry, following a major brawl over an illegal lumber operation in the forestry reserves. On Monday, the Forestry Department revisited the area to seize the remainder of the illegal lumber under heavy police and military guard. Kalisha Williams has details in this primetime news follow-up.
Listen to me. When them say heavy, almost 100, if not 100 police was sent up there. What was that about? Over lumber. Over lumber.
A community united behind their chief. It comes days after residents in Quickstep, St. Elizabeth trapped members.
Not Flagstaff, Quickstep. No, this is a year ago. This is a year ago. I'm building up to make you realize the conflict that was there between Andrew Holness government and the Maroons. 2021, there was an issue, big issue. But the same thing. I mean, Chief Curry was a person of interest. There's articles about that. And then he was cleared. You understand what I say? Andrew Holness would not sit with Chief Curry. So what is happening now? What is happening now, ladies and gentlemen? Why now? What is the interest now? He did not have any posture of recognizing the Maroons. He didn't have that posture. You understand what I'm saying?
The forestry department in the forest as they tried to clamp down on an illegal lumber operation. While the police issued a statement retracting their initial call for Colonel Richard Curry to turn himself in relation to the detention of the workers in the forest, the Accompong Maroons are upset.
That's a quiet people. They send calling chief over there, so why problem? When they send calling for no one, know they want to stir up war.
We're not going to stay with them, you know, see them belittle the town, brother, because you understand? I don't know one fan coming, you understand, sir? But you come with good, no come with bad, brother, because we don't support them.
But while the residents complained about how the situation unfolded, the forestry department had their eye on the prize. With a large contingent of soldiers and the police, they journeyed to Quickstep to continue their mission.
So today we've returned to Quickstep to complete the removal of all of the timber that's been illegally harvested. And we have a strong contingent of police to ensure the safety of the staff so that what happened on Friday will not happen again.
Chief Executive Officer and Conservator of Forest at the Forestry Department, Ainsley Henry, said while he understands the needs of the community in earning a living, it must be done within the confines of the law and the protection of the land. As for what will be done with the confiscated timber,
it's either by public auction or in some instances we use the material to provide like furniture for schools, you know, police stations, whatever. So in this instance, a final decision has not been made yet, but it's highly unlikely that we'll dispose of it via auction.
In the meantime, commanding officer for the Area 3 Police Division, ACP Calvin Allen, says the police will not relent in finding the masterminds behind the illegal operation in the forest.
We're leaving absolutely no stone unturned to treat with that aspect of the investigation while simultaneously to look at what led to citizens performing their official duties being barricaded and being put in that sort of danger.
Kelisha Williams, TVJ News.
So that is from the angle. That is from the angle of the government. You know that I feel the media house. That I hold them frame it. I remember Chief Curry went live on TikTok in the bus when how much police and soldier them did there and surrounding. You understand? One second. I need to check this video out at a later date. That profit is right there. Alright. Go back to TikTok now. Search for this video from Chief Bird. Here it is. No, that's not the one. He was in a bus. This is it. This is it.
Police and soldier all around me.
Compound Maroon Chief Richard Curry says he's being targeted.
It reached the point here. It reached the point here. See there? Police and soldier all around me.
Compound Maroon Chief Richard Curry says he's being targeted by the Jamaican authorities, including the police and the soldier. This, he said, is in part to him taking a stance over what he alleges is the cutting down of mahogany trees by the government-led forestry department. The Maroon Chief took to Instagram on Saturday evening about the matter, and then on Sunday morning also posted a lengthy caption with videos over what he said is taking place.
Which is a deep part of Captain Country, which there is a so-called forestry reserve. And it has been demarcated forestry reserve. However, people have been over the years deliberately lumbering from that area. What is forestry doing with how much feet, thousands of feet of mahogany wood? The mahogany, right? One of the rarest species in the forest. Mahogany. What is the forestry department doing with mahogany? These are the people who are lumbering, and these are the cupboards and agents who facilitate the lumbering of Captain Country. So when them can't take it off, and when the people of Captain Country stand up and decide to make a stance, it's a bad man post. Them say we have to come down today now. Them say we have to come down today. We are doing what we need to do as leaders in our communities to de-escalate and manage situations.
I tell you, this was intense. This was an intense time, 2024. This was another video after the incident.
Morning, everybody.
So, the chief had to. It was a serious situation, guys. The evidence is there. So my point is, what changed? What changed? From Andrew on his commentary towards the Maroons, not going to Maroon Town or Compound, not sitting with the chief when he requested to sit with him. What changed? What changed? That is the $1 million question. I'm gonna sort this out. I'm gonna get all the videos and all the evidence. You understand? Because I stand with the natives. I'm always going to stand with the natives. Period. I don't see the Maroons trying to take over or go against anybody. They are sovereign within their community, and they have the right to their sovereignty in their community. And I can't wait for a Maroon and a lawyer and an MP, the newest minister, the brand new minted Minister of Government, Isaac Buchanan, that broke the vase. I cannot wait for him to take this to the court, the higher court. Since they have been speaking about, remember the conversation, ladies and gentlemen, was surrounding, what do you call it, becoming a republic. And Chief Curry has been saying, well, there's a treaty, and I think we should be at the table to discuss what changes and how it would affect our treaty, and all the finer details and so forth. Marconi is the only one that has extended that respect to the chief and made a commitment that if the PMP was to be the government, this is what he would do. So Andrew Holness has been opposing the Maroon and directly Chief Curry for quite some time. Now he wants to stand on the same stage with him. Yo, man, listen. Pay attention, all right? Don't be tricked. Do not be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be fooled, yeah?
You don't want Chief Curry to get the money in their hand. So when you know?
Yes.
I purchase him and Maroon good.
So you can send the money to the government.
Then I know why you take to China without that gun for the scene,
Yes, I'm gonna send it to the African country, everybody has to see here.
Whoa,
I can got you.
So what you think of me now? This morning when he left on the country with all that little baby the power all stuff of the country, that bill I pushed on plastic in a zinc wall to water and come in. If not this with that,
Yes.
Our ulterior motive. We want to deal with the Maroon that people can sit for.
Yes.
Maroon them. Remember, if you want to get close to a man, you have to friend him,
Yes.
If you have something to benefit. Because Andre, remember, you can not talk.
Yes.
Not talk certain things, but look on it. Me and you work how I'm playing.
True.
I'm working, me and you rob the bar. The bar to go come out and the bar to go say, why, Johnny, you know what I say? They keep me $5 million last night and say,
yes.
You know what I say, you're going to never see the money. I mean, no me get. They can't talk.
True.
They will keep silent because they involved. So that is the reason why you can't talk certain things. But me I tell you, say, you don't want Chief Curry to get the money, and you want the money to come in your hand. Because of offense and with one sovereign and with Jamaica, they don't want Chief Curry. And that's why I'm done there. And this is a different thing now when I think about, because when I'm in left, that's when it's working up. And in sit down and hear people them think they them creative
yes.
And some like that, the uncertified Congo worm.
The uncertified Congo worm, yeah.
Well, I say we with the people them. So when you get to come back, remember that same after I left Johannesburg in Korea, you start to look.
Yes, the same weekend for true Shakshan. If come back, if go down there, if go down there right away with the paint bucket them. True. If the charge up himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know remember that after him come from the place them going up at Chief Curry them place it with the water and all type of gift and beer gift, Come like him really got Africa and hear how the African them the big top country them over there respect the native Maroon them, They look like that one for you, And he must a shift. How him really operate and how him deal with the Maroons them, I remember saying drop puppet, you know. A puppet, isn't it?
It's an Andre. If I want to have this, darling, where I feel like good to them there for and when I'm talking LLW. Why for darling, they done that so long before people crafted when they come and I come and I flash this smiling at people them face. But as what you said, Chief Curry needs to remember this for China. That's our main thing. Keep a close eye for it because even man don't know, you watch a man body language intense with fear. Everything about him.
You did see when Isaac attack and you see him clasp him hands. You know when clasp him hands, you know that is a sign of shunning somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know that when you are in disagreement with somebody and you want to shun them, you clasp your hands like this.
Yes.
You know that they're showing you that you're not welcome. So when Isaac punch him, about the killing, the shooting them, and when Isaac attack about the sovereignty, you realize it is a sign of him dismissing Isaac Buchanan.
And remember not know where Maroon and keep up there, never go up there.
5 years him not go up there. So what make it change? What make it change?
All of a sudden, and nobody no invite him, or you just get up and go up there. Something in the making. I remember me tell you, man have a easy finger and money.
You think of money alone, Mama?
Well, if a money, everything come back on money. I already ready to go tell out there some.
But I want to say something to you, Shaksha. You remember I brought the inference yesterday afternoon, last night, about the Wakanda and the Akompo.
Yes.
Why every world power wants to be associated with their compound. There must be something special about it, Shaksha.
But in can't push the world power. You not have them the bars and them that Caribbean puppet, you know.
It's a Caribbean war.
Instruction, you know. Remember saying no. Remember send out boy, you know. So even if him try to push up himself, you know, him have to report after him done investigate and know what is what, you know. But Andre, don't surprise to know say I money where people them because God that man take money from all angles. That's why you see that look at Tutsi they were come on the TV where you talk about last night. You man talk about some people they live in that. So what? The money will come up to people who they live nowhere. The people them appear then taxpayers and them have buy big van outside, telephone bill, every bill we have to pay for frigging them and return them good food.
Well, Shaksha, me I pick somebody else the phone line, but thank you for your
big up Shaksha. Yeah, man, big up Shaksha. Big up Shaksha. I want to listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This was night before last night.
Leaders in the Grand Chamber.
The speech from Isaac.
Listen to what Isaac Buchanan said today. Listen carefully, Jamaica.
Oppression and there must not be punishment when you are to speak out about the freedom of our brothers and sisters. If you understand anything about the significance of the 1738 treaty,
I'm glad you see. Isaac Buchanan is so intelligent and calculative. I'm glad he brought up the 1738 treaty. Let's listen carefully, guys. Let's listen carefully, please. I don't want to them too low, you know. People sleeping.
and if you are from Moortown, who just set the stage, 1739, you would know the importance of freedom, the importance of independence, the importance of recognizing indigenous people of Jamaica, and the importance of understanding the work that Chief Curry is doing now for a compound. When you look at the water machine that is behind you, the work behind the scenes to make it done. Harold, I know you are here because I did hear you. Jeff and Mila, I know you are here because I heard you as well. But the sacrifice made, the representation of humanity, the representation of human rights, that something as basic as water and its importance, one must never be thirsty while fighting for the rights of their freedom and for the people
freedom is a word that I must say to you. When you think of what our people and our ancestors went through, so you could stand here in the rain, or not, it is important for you to recognize that we are in a time when we must wake up. We must respect ourselves first so that we can appreciate the person standing beside you or sitting behind you. The life is something given to us without knowing we are to receive it. And so it must be respected in such a way that I could never not use this platform to say that the life of every Jamaican is so important that we must find ways to protect our brothers and sisters.
Life is so important, and we must protect our brothers and sisters. Right there, you know what I said talking about Jamaica?
Lives being
the extrajudicial killings.
Yes.
Right there, Jamaica, I started speaking about the extrajudicial killings. I'll take that on tomorrow in Midday Connections. Right there, he's speaking about the sovereignty of the Maroons. He spoke. You remember when Rose said, show me the accomplishments of Curry. Isaac told you about the water project. That is an accomplishment of Chief Richard Curry.
Of course.
So Isaac directly made the Accompong Maroons aware of the work of Chief Richard Curry. The work that is remiss of them to remember the Constitution and the treaty that was formed Jamaica. And he reminded them the importance to the right of life. Andrew Holness don't like those things, Jamaica. Because Andrew Holness says shoot to kill and explain after. Andrew Holness says there is no other sovereignty except the sovereignty of Jamaica. And Andrew Holness wants his friend, his confidant, his co-conspirator, that one in the middle, the three musketeers who wants the lands. They want the Maroon lands. They want the Maroon resources. They want the Maroons' black gold.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. You guys think that the Maroons are going to digitize their records? Do you guys think that the treaty that is signed in ink, they can digitize it? I'll tell you something, man. You will never, and I repeat, you will never get a higher grade than the original. You'll never get a higher grade than the basic. You will always have to go back to the basic. Always. Please remember that, guys. Always, always. But I am going to leave it there. I am going to leave it there. I see that the numbers are dwindling. People are tired. And I've made my point. And I want to thank Andre because a lot of these excerpts I pulled from his show. So big up PDTV, you guys make sure you go and watch the last one midday connection today, well, Wednesday, and then 2 live streams ago, tonight and the night before. Check those out yourself. As of the data that I pull, like the articles and stuff like that, yeah, I guess I'll have to compile something and put out a video at some point about this sudden change of heart or mind of the Angeles towards the Maroons and what could be the motive behind it. A lot of people have a lot of different, conclusions and arguments, which they could be right, and there's even more to it than they think. The land, the resources, and the money. That's what people are saying. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. This year is going to be an important year. For those that are listening to me right now, before you go, I want to encourage you to get original pumpkin seed and melons. Start planting. Don't ask me why. Start planting. Wherever you are. Do some research on pumpkin and melons and the benefits of both. Start planting. Start planting melons and pumpkins. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Or good morning. See you guys later. Peace and blessings, TikTok. The word is love. Pebbles, big up. Everybody, big up, big up, big up. Big up on yourself. But come on.